YouTube, what is up, Giants fans? It is your boy Jay Dimes, and we are back with another New York Giants video. Back at it with another New York Giants banger. And if you have not done so yet, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, make sure you go ahead and comment down below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you love Giants football. We need to get into some of these quotes and some of the insight we got with Joe Schoen having his combine press conference. Also tomorrow, it was supposed to drop today, but we got this big conference. We got some big things to talk about with Joe Schoen and the Giants. We will be making our mock draft video tomorrow. Our mock draft, our 7-round mock draft for the New York Giants. The pre-combine, mock draft for the Giants will be out tomorrow. So go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Make sure the post notifications are on so you can be tuned in for that video. But let's get into it. Let's get into some of the comments that Joe Schoen made today in his combine press conference. Daniel Jones haters, go ahead and put the phone down. Go ahead, take a nap or something, because the first quote we're going to get into is about Daniel Jones. You can't talk about the New York Giants without talking about Daniel Jones. Joe Schoen doubled down once again, stating that he has no doubt that Daniel Jones will be the New York Giants quarterback in 2023. It was something that we already knew. It was mostly about how much he will be back, as a New York Giant. How much will he be back on for the New York Giants? And the franchise tag, again, is always an option for the New York Giants, but I do expect the New York Giants to get an extension done with Danny Dimes. I'm excited that he will be back this year. For a minute, a lot of people were making false narratives, false quotes, false reports. Joe Schoen also said that he never, and him and the Giants never negotiated with his past agency, being CAA. He never had a bumpy road or a bumpy start, that report was out in the air. None of that never happened because they never spoke with his old agency. So we can get past that. We don't gotta talk about that anymore. It's on to when and how much will Daniel Jones be back for the New York Giants. And I do think it will be done by an extension. I do think the New York Giants will get an extension done with Daniel Jones. And if they are not able to get an extension done with Daniel Jones, then the franchise tag will be placed on him before March 7th. So we're going to get our, our big report, our big news that we've been waiting for with Daniel Jones and the New York Giants. I do think he will be extended very, very soon. That's just my gut feeling. He could get franchise tag and he could end up getting extended more down the road, but I do think the New York Giants will extend Daniel Jones. But the biggest quote coming out of today is Joe Schoen double downing, saying that Daniel Jones will be the New York Giants quarterback for 2023. Okay, next, let's talk about Saquon Barkley. Now, Joe Schoen said that he is, cautiously optimistic about bringing Saquon and Daniel Jones back together. He said that those guys work together very, very nicely on the field, which is true. But more on just Saquon Barkley himself. He basically said that, again, they have, a limit. They have a ceiling of how much money they want to give to Saquon Barkley. And if Saquon Barkley wants to exceed that number, if he wants more than what the New York Giants are willing to give him, they will resort to a plan B. And that has been the narrative, that has been, the report that I think has been the strongest, is that the New York Giants and Saquon Barkley, the Giants have a limit and they have a ceiling of how much money they want to give him. Now, he also said that they are closer. That gap has, gotten a little bit shorter from when it was back in, the middle of this season. We knew that over the bye week, the Giants had started, contract negotiations with Saquon Barkley, and, they were kind of far away from the money that they were willing to agree on. He did say that they have, got closer in that gap. So that's great that that gap is closing. Is nothing set in stone yet. I like that. I like to hear that the gap isn't as wide as it was at first. So if they are able to get something done, they are able to meet in the middle and bring back Saquon Barkley, your boy will be happy, because I made a mock draft and I've been making mock drafts and stuff like that. I've been taking running backs. I just don't like that feeling because I love Saquon Barkley as a player. I love Saquon Barkley as a New York Giant. But right now, it looks like if if Saquon Barkley wants to exceed the money that the New York Giants are willing to give him, Joe Schoen and company will resort to a plan B, and Saquon Barkley, who will be, in another uniform. But I'm glad that, the gap that they had midseason has shortened ever since then. So that's the new report. That's the new thoughts and input we got on Saquon Barkley. Now let's get into what Joe Schoen had to say about the defensive trenches of the New York Giants. First, he did say that they have, started talking about a contract extension with Dexter Lawrence's agents. So that's great. I want Dexter Lawrence back. Joe Schoen said that he is a great player, he's a great leader, and he's a player that they want around for a very, very long time. The New York Giants have to get a deal done with Dexter Lawrence. They got to get an extension done with him. He is the defensive MVP. He is, a bona fide stud at the defensive tackle position. Leonard Williams, I know a lot of fans want to know about what is going to happen with Leonard Williams and that $32 million cap hit for 2023. He talked about the lack of depth on the defensive line. So I don't expect, us to release Leonard Williams. I don't expect us to cut Leonard Williams. I think the New York Giants will end up rather, there has been talks about a pay cut. He said he would not mind taking a pay cut, stuff like that. Still gotta find out if, that would actually happen. But the New York Giants will, be best interested in probably extending Leonard Williams. He is a great player when he's on the field. You want to keep, Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams in the middle of the trenches. Those two guys work very, very well together. Those two guys are basically like the glue pieces of this team or of this defense, kind of on that defensive line. And with Kenny Golladay, let's talk about Kenny Golladay for a minute. They did release him this morning. We already know that. They did clear up $6.7 million in cap space towards the cap. And per Jordan Rana, he said that move has them at around $50 million, in cap space. So with the Leonard Williams contract, hopefully they can, bring that cap number down for 2023. He said expect that number to rise even more. So that is the news that we got for Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams, and even the Kenny Golladay situation from Jordan Raanan and Joe Schoen. But those were just a few of my takeaways from Joe Schoen's press conference. Leave down below your thoughts. Leave down below your big takeaways from Joe Schoen's combine press conference. But I'm excited, man. We're about to get free agency coming. We're about to see, the big signing, the big deals. Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones, what it looks like for them. And we got the draft. Been doing a lot of draft research on a lot of prospects. And I cannot wait to drop that mock draft tomorrow. So if you want to be, tuned for that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and make sure the post notifications are on so you can find out how I'm feeling, how, I think the New York Giants will attack this draft in 2023. But that's really it. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like, go ahead and comment, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And until then, it's been your boy J Dimes. Love you boys. Thank you guys for watching, and we are out. Go Giants.